So for the first video, I showed you how to get to this classroom website. Now I'm going to briefly show you how to use it. So this Business 635 Corporate Sustainability for spring of 14. This is pretty much the cover page of the syllabus, which is available right here. So depending on your browser, you can download this in different ways. So this is Firefox, as you see. So I can download that here if I'm using Chrome and I open the PDF. I can bring my cursor down here and I can save the file by clicking on this. Depending on which browser you're using, you might be able to save this in different ways. But this PDF can be viewed online or can be downloaded. So we'll go back to the main course website again and switch my roles to student so it'll look exactly like what you see. After the syllabus, you'll see this link to the textbook. This is the full 10 chapters of the textbook that you can read online. You will also, as Dave's email said, each be receiving a hard copy of the textbook emailed or mailed to you. These next 4 links, right? Okay, news form, sorry. If I'm sending out a message to the whole class, this is where I will use, this is the tool I will use, and I will type it in here, and 30 minutes after I type it in here, it'll be emailed out to everyone that has enrolled in the class here in Beacon Learning. These next 4 are tools that will help you to meet the grammar and style requirements for the writing. You'll have several writing assignments in this class that you will need to take a look at here. This first video clip right here is the one that Dave emailed out to you. So if you're on this site right now, you already know how to access NCU Beacon Learning. This is just here as a reminder. The next video that I'm currently recording right now is going to go in between these two. It will show you how to use this site. This third video will show you how to use the library services, and again, you will be using that for at least a couple of assignments. That's all the introductory stuff for the class, and then you see it breaks into a weekly calendar. Here, for those of you that have used VCamp in the past, you will see the complete and the discuss and responses. This is very similar to the VCamp. Then for those of you especially that had my course last semester, the Operations Management, you'll see week 2, 4, 6, and 8. Each one of the even numbered weeks has a portfolio project component that's due. So we're going to look at these assignments briefly. One note, week 2, 4, and 6, the portfolio assignment pretty much is going to work exactly the same as a complete. Week 8, as all of you who've done it before know, the final draft of the portfolio will get uploaded to TaskStream. So we'll look at that last, and it will be slightly different. So we'll start here with the completes, and when I click on that link, it'll bring up a different page, and it'll show you what the questions for the completes are. As it says in the syllabus, you're going to open up a Word document, type up your your responses for these questions in a Word document. Use the spell check, use the grammar check, make sure that everything is in good APA format. Then once you're done, you'll save that Word file and then upload it using this Add Submission button. So when you click on that, it'll take you to this page, same question above. This online text, this whole section in here, you can type in here, but you certainly don't have to, and you don't need to or /want to duplicate your work, because that Word file is just going to get added into this file submissions area right here. So there's at least two ways of doing that. One is you can click on Add File, browse through your computer, similar to Explorer or Finder, and upload the file that way. For me, an easier way is if I have Explorer or Finder open as a second window on the side, I can just drag it from Explorer and drop it inside this dotted line area. Then it'll upload the file. As soon as the file is done uploading, it'll give you a big square icon right here that says that your Word document is done loading. And then you'll save the changes. If you don't save the changes, your assignment doesn't get uploaded. So now I'm going to go back to the main course room, and we'll look at the second type of assignment. So the first one, this icon right here, shows that it's an assignment. This right here is what Moodle, which is the software that Beacon Learning is built on, this icon is for a forum, which is the method of having this classroom discussion. So when I click on that, If you are the first one in here, there will be no topics listed. Here's the question again, just like the complete, where you're going to replying to. If you're the second or the 25th person to come in here, previous students' input will be listed here. There'll be multiple discussion topics in here. Every incoming student is going to, every student in the class for each new discuss is going to add a new discussion topic of their own and then read and reply to 2 of their classmates' discussion topics that are already listed here. If you're the first one entering a new topic, then you have to come back later and revisit it and respond to 2 of your classmates. So when you're the first one in here, I'll click on that. I'll come in here, add a brief little description of what you're going to, the key point that you're going to make in response to this question, and then your answer will go in here. Again, I recommend, and as it says in the syllabus, recommends typing all of this up in Word, saving it. That way, if you lose the internet connection or whatever, you've got your backup copy. But here, you're going to actually paste it into this window. This attachment, if you had an image or something like that related to what you were pasting up into this, your discussion that you were pasting up here, then you could certainly add something. But in general, you're not going to have any file attachment here. So for your complete and for your portfolio, you're going to go with files and not text. For your forum, you're going to go with text up here and no files down here. Once you're done pasting your response to the discussion question, then you're going to post to forum. When you do a response to your classmates, it's going to be a very similar process, except instead of being a new discussion, it's going to be a response to a previous discussion. So I'm going to skip talking about the Portfolio Project 1 for the moment, and we'll go all the way down to Portfolio Project 4. Portfolio Project 1 is going to look exactly like the completes. What I do want to point out while we're here in week 2 is this rubric. Again, those of you that have been in it in the past know that when you submit in TaskStream your final draft, that you will be graded by the rubric. So I've presented the rubric here so you know where you're going with this. For part 1 and part 2 of your project, you're not going to be using this rubric. For part 3, when you do the rough draft, you need to make sure that you hit all of these components. And then obviously for the final draft, you're going to be graded based on this rubric. So that's in there. Be aware of that. Again, as we step through this, you've got your reading assignments for each week in here, mostly from the textbook. Oh, one thing I want to point out, I think it's week 3 complete. No, one of the completes also has some, I think it's week 2, has some links to external files. Yes, right there. So read the following 2 articles. As you can see by the blue font, these are hot links. So when I click on that, I think it's going to ask me to download it. I might have to work on that. It should download those 2 files for you. So these are PDF files that you're going to read and respond to in your question. I'll get that fixed before week 2, I promise. Okay, so that's the portfolio draft, the portfolio rubric right there. Your reading assignments and your complete and discuss for each week. Your reading assignment, your complete and discussed, and your project for the even numbered weeks. Now, when I get down here to week 8, remember as it shows in the syllabus, you'll have 1 fewer days to respond to the assignments on this last week so that I can get in final grades. For your portfolio project, here's the full description from the syllabus of what the portfolio requirements are, the portfolio project requirements are. When I click on this, it's going to launch TaskStream. It's not yet functioning. We've got an IT problem. This will be fixed before week 8. Worst case, if it's not, then you can log into TaskStream manually. But in theory, when I click on this, it's going to launch a new website, and right now there's an error. When we get this working, the website should look something like this. So I just logged in from TaskStream directly, and I think that this is what the student version looks like as well. You'll go to your business portfolio and upload your final draft of the portfolio assignment. So when I clicked on that link to the portfolio assignment, this is what it pops up, and it says your activity is opened in a new window. That's that window that right now isn't working. When we get to week 8, that's where your final project, final draft, done per the rubric, done per the description in the syllabus, will be uploaded. So that's the way you interface with this class, or with this course, excuse me, online. And I think that that should give you everything you need to know to be able